name is Warwick Smith, and this is American Pacific Mining. Symbol is USGD in Canada, USGDF down in the US. Our forward-looking statement, which you can review on our website. Investment highlights. So in April of this year, we completed a transformational transaction on the Madison mine down in Montana in partnership with Rio Tinto. Rio Tinto may spend up to $30 million US to earn 70% of the project. If you've seen us before on these, as we've done a couple of these with Chen, there's been 4 press releases this week, so lots happening. So I'm going to touch on all of that today, including we had our first drill hole from Rio of the 2020 campaign with 8 more pending. We also have 2 assets down in Nevada. We have the Tuscarora, which is a high-grade epithermal project. We've got that joint ventured out now to a company called Saldera. They're going to drill that this year. Very excited about that. And then the Gooseberry mine, which is a past-producing mine just outside of Reno. And we joint ventured that out this week as well. So all 3 of our major assets are joint ventured out, and they either have drilling on them as we speak or drill campaigns that are about to start very quickly. Company is run by myself, but more importantly, Eric Saderholm. Eric was the head of exploration in the Western US for Newmont. Corporate structure, 65 million shares out, around $2 million in cash, $6.1 million of warrants that are in the money, plus $1 million worth of equity in Saldera and equity in GRAC as well, which has just come through Gooseberry. Fairly low monthly burn rate of around $150,000 a month. But again, please don't let that fool you. We're going to have a significant amount of drilling coming forward, both from Rio and our other 2 partners down in Nevada. This is the Madison Gold Copper project. So as mentioned, partnered with Rio Tinto. They can earn a 70% interest by spending $30 million US. This was last in production between 2008 and 2012. They produced 2.7 million pounds of copper, with grades ranging between 20 and 35% copper. So very high grade. They also produced 7,570 ounces of gold at 16.1 grams per ton gold. We put out the first drill hole of the 2020 campaign, 1.7 meters of 69 grams per ton gold, and just over 23 meters of 2.19% copper as well. Very, very pleased with that hole. I'm going to show it to you in a 3D space in a moment so you can get a feel for it. Rio Tinto is the third largest mining company in the world. So they're certainly looking for something significant. This is a high-grade skarnet surface and a porphyry underneath. They are looking for something big, ideally something analogous to the Butte mine, which produced 21 billion pounds of copper, 3 million ounces of gold, and 700+ million ounces of silver. So listen, if they can find anything like that, I think we'll all be incredibly pleased. Here's the location. We're in a great part of Montana, where you can get mining done. The Golden Sunlight mine is right by us. The Butte mine is close by as well. The Continental Pit is up by Butte. If you flew into here, you would likely fly into Butte and drive down. It's about an hour and 20-minute drive from Butte. Here's some of the historical drill highlights. It's just sort of give you an idea of the grades that this system can carry. 30 meters of 25 grams per ton gold, 11 meters of 41, 4.6 meters of 82 grams per ton gold, 7 meters of 25, 14 meters of 12, and then some spectacular copper numbers. 61 meters of almost 7% copper, 8.5 meters of 40, 84 meters of 1.89% copper, and then 2.7 meters of 41 grams per ton gold and almost 20% copper. Included in with the drill results that we put out on Tuesday, which was a 1.7 meters of 69 grams per ton gold and 23 meters of 2.19% copper. You know, we're very pleased with the numbers that we're seeing. Here's a breakdown of the terms of the JV. So again, 30 million to earn up to 70% of the project. They have up to 11 years to spend that money, although they're spending it quite aggressively. And obviously, you know, I'll pull note to the quote at the bottom. We believe that earning 30% of a Rio Tinto size target would be great for American Pacific shareholders. I'll just queue up a 3D model here for you that essentially what it's going to show you is the drill hole that we just announced, along with the 8 drill holes that are at the lab and are pending. We expect to release those in essentially in around the next 10 days. But what Rio is trying to do is they're trying to connect up the 3 mines on the project, the Madison, the Broadway, and the Hudson. So they are targeting the skarn within all these. They're in and around 300-meter holes. So we'll just cue that up and show that to you now. Appreciate you taking the time to watch that. I like to show those 3D models because I think it helps to give people an idea visually of what's going on with the deposits. Look, we love this hole. We're very, very pleased with the grade, obviously, but it also extends the mineralization down plunge 30 meters. So we can see that this is getting bigger. There's other holes out ahead of it. So let's see how those come in. I suspect, as I say, those will be in the next sort of 2 weeks' time. And we're obviously quite excited to see them. It's something that you can see on our website. We have 3D models for each one of the projects. So if you're interested to go on and review those, you can see that at americanpacific.ca. Here's the past production numbers that I mentioned. Again, 2008 to 2012, 2.7 million pounds of copper, ranging between 20 and 35% copper, and then just over 7,500 ounces of gold at 16.1 grams per ton gold. Here's the porphyry model, just so you can see where it was drilled into the porphyry. That's a nice slide that we've borrowed from Rio Tinto. Here's a look at some of the core from the 2017 drilling that went into the porphyry. You can note the chaotic folding and brecciation. Here's a look at what the skarn and the jasperoid looks like. That's carried a lot of the good grades. That carried the jasperoid actually carried the copper grade, which was somewhat interesting in the 2020 drill hole that we just released. So the jasperoid carried the copper, and then the gold was in massive sulfide. In the past, we've seen the jasperoid carry really good gold grades, so it was interesting to see that time. You know, here's the 3 types of the mineralization that are there. You can see the jasperoid off to the left, the native copper in the middle, and then the massive sulfide off to the right. The processing is along the bottom where they've been processed previously, along with some of the grades that it's carried. You know, we like seeing this, that gold and copper being mineralizing all these different types. I think that's exciting for us. I think it shows a good size to the system, a good push from the system, and that's why we're getting such good grades there as well. Again, part of the reason that we've got Rio Tinto as a partner. That's Madison. Let me talk briefly about the other 2 projects here. Tuscarora is an asset that we absolutely love. It's an asset that we started the company on. High-grade epithermal system just outside of Elko, Nevada. We just announced the transaction on this with Saldera Mining. Saldera is a company that we like a great deal. Bob Baxter's running it. He's a great guy. He ran Norsemont before it was bought out by Hud Bay. They're going to drill this year. So they've got to spend up to $4.5 million plus make some cash payments to us. We own 2 million shares of the company now. We'll own another million shares going forward if they continue on. And if they can complete a pre-feasibility study, that gives them the opportunity to earn up to 80% of the asset. Here's some of the drill holes previously. You know, we focused on high-grade assets in the Western US, and this certainly fits the bill. You can see some of the previous drill holes here from 2 of the known veins through the project, all of which I think would create some excitement for the market if we see these types of grades again, which we're certainly hopeful that we will. This is a quick look, looking down on the asset in the white square box. That's the portion that we own. You can see the South Navajo here. And then you can see all these veins that are above our property line. Those were previously in production by old timers. And then when you get to our property, it goes under gravels. So 0 to 200 feet of gravel. That's why the old timers hadn't put these ones into production. We understand that some of these veins run through our project. We've had some of these tested, and we're going to see more of them tested this year with the drilling from Soldera. Gooseberry. Here's a project just out about 45 minutes outside of Reno. We used our good geological teams here to be able to pick this up. We were actually able to stake this project. Last in production in 1994, hasn't been touched since 1994. Another asset that we're very excited about. We announced a partnership on this on Wednesday. GRAC Global came in. Again, they can earn up to 80% by spending up to a $4.5 million, doing a feasibility study and giving us 3 million shares of their company. Likely this gets drilled early 2021. I don't think they're going to be ready in time to get this drilled this year, but we're very excited to see some work done here as well. Here's some of the previous grades, some production grades from there. So 0.91 meters of 65 grams per ton and 4,500 grams per ton silver. You can see the rest on the screen there, but they all carry great grades. So again, something that hasn't been drilled since '94, something you can put modern geological tactics to, and hopefully create a lot of excitement. Here's a look at sort of a near vertical vein. It's worth mentioning that when we staked this, we didn't have any of the data. We were able to track down 12 old bankers boxes of data at the University of Nevada, Reno, and then put those together into a 3D model. We're the first people to have a 3D model on this asset. Here's one more quick look. Nice section here. You can see some of the grades that have been previously drilled and some of what we would consider to be ore grades ahead of it that didn't make it to the production pile. 2020 milestones. So we completed the acquisition of the Madison mine. We oversubscribed a financing with the help of Chen and with the help of the Casey Research Group as well. We've released 14 holes that were drilled in 2019 that hadn't previously been released by Rio Tinto. Announced their drill program. We brought in partners for both Tuscarora and for Gooseberry. 2020 drilling, we've announced the first hole, which we're very pleased with. And we've got 8 holes at the lab that are pending, so we're excited to get those out. And obviously, we're going to look to add to the project profile as well. Again, myself and Eric, who I've talked a bit about. Ken Cunningham was the head of Miranda Gold for quite some time, did a fantastic job with them, has been an excellent director based in Reno. Jonas Lang has done a great job for us. He works with Maple Gold. Maple's done really well recently as well. He's been a fantastic director. And then Norman Wareham, who's our CFO, who's been doing this around 40 years as well. Great team. Very excited to put out significant drill results as we go forward here, and look forward to an exciting rest of the year and on to 2021.